I can't believe my uncle cancelled on me. He never has a date. Both Nelson and Max agreed it was odd. They knew Tamarius showed no interest in jumping into the dating world. Hey, maybe it's fate. You never know, man. Nelson is too excited to care. He beamed. Everything had worked out in his favor. Hey, pull over here to the gas station. I need to get something. All right. Max pulled into the gas station and parked next to a gas pump. Max, isn't that Mei, your girl? Nelson points over to Mei. She was standing in front of the gas station's entrance, drinking a bottle of water. She is hot. Mei stood near the convenience store's entrance. The soft Florida night air glided through her long wavy hair, creating the perfect frame around her face. She glanced in their direction, her angelic face glowed. She wore dark skinny jeans and a tight tank top. Mei had a beautiful hourglass shape and a vibrant golden complexion. She was unaware of her beauty. Max observed the men walking past her, staring and making vulgar gestures behind her back as they walked into the convenience store. He became jealous but reminded himself that she was not his girl. I want her to be. Go talk to her, man. You can't just stare at her for the rest of your life. Nelson overhears his words. I don't know. Max's focus stays on Mei. I'm behind you. Do it. Come on. Let's go. Nelson jumps out of the vehicle. Max followed. His heart pounded in his chest as the distance between them shortened. Mei didn't notice him. Her gaze was fixed on an approaching car. Is she waiting for someone? Max thought. She is beautiful. She has to have a boyfriend. What am I thinking? She'll never go for me, Max complains to himself. Mei switched her gaze to Max as he approached. He realized her eyes appeared puffier, however, he could still see those beautiful emerald green eyes. She looked sad, more than usual. His nervousness turned to concern, not realizing how much her well-being meant to him. He opened his mouth to ask if she was okay when someone shouted her name. Everyone in the vicinity turned towards the voice of Cora Pennington. Mei. Cora called once more, then she walked towards her friend, embracing her. Are you okay? Did the ID hurt you? Cora asked as Max and Nelson walked past them. What did she mean by, did he hurt you? Max asked himself. Did some boyfriend hurt her? Max pondered under his breath. If I ever had the chance to be with her, I would treasure every minute. Why would anyone want to hurt someone that beautiful? He thought. Max became overburdened with all of his thoughts. I am getting drunk tonight, he says out loud. Everyone turned toward the unexpected outburst. A mixture of disapproving stares was followed by foolish laughter. The gas station attendant was among the less amused, shaking his head in disgust. Nelson picked up a pack of condoms and spearmint gum before heading to the cash register. What happened out there? I thought you were going to stop. It looked like a bad time, Max mumbles under his breath. I thought you had my back. Max waits for Nelson to finish paying. Well, I can't talk to her for you. Nelson smirks after collecting his change from the cashier. They make their way back out of the convenience store, all while Max's mind is consumed by mysterious thoughts surrounding Mei. Well, on to the next. Nelson jumps into the passenger side of the Suburban. Max said nothing as he entered the driver's seat and drove off. Okay, girl, what happened? Cora glances over at her friend. You look pissed. Mei had sat for the past 5 minutes, staring out the car window. I just can't deal with this anymore. Mei released a heavy breath. He was trying to break into my room tonight. Thank God, I heard him and could get out before he got in. Cora, I just don't know what to do. I'm tired. I can only fight him off for so long. Mei, please tell me you didn't cut yourself again? Did you hear me? My stepfather is trying to rape me. I heard you, but you can't give up. You can't let the bastard win. I love you, and I know your mom could not go on if something happened to you. What if you cut an artery and bleed to death, or the doctors couldn't stitch you back up? Would it be so bad? Cora's mouth dropped, shocked at her friend's reply. Yes, May. Cora held back her tears. I just want to drink, May said. Then I won't care. I don't know if that's a good idea. MEI.HUI. Why don't you just sleep at my house tonight? We can buy some junk food and watch some girly movies. Cora shoves her wants aside for her friend's needs. No, I'll be fine. Besides, my mom doesn't know that I'm out. She thinks I'm locked in my room sleeping. That woman will lose it. May trying to lighten the air. Cora, you're a great friend. I wouldn't be here today without you. Sweet, but I can't take all the credit. Cora points up towards the roof of the car. May nods in agreement. Cora was not your perfect Christian teen, but she loved God and was not afraid to show it. Cora's faith always inspired and intrigued May to have a relationship with God. However, the anger and contempt she felt in her heart still held her back from enjoying that kind of relationship. Okay, ready? Cora asked. She pulled up to the curb and parked her car. Yep. May unbuckled her seatbelt while butterflies swarmed her stomach. Cora was already jumping out of her car and closing the door behind her before May could open the passenger side door. May stepped out, feeling a rush of butterflies in her stomach. She looked around. She followed Cora up the driveway to the open garage door. It was as if the entire school had come out. Carefree teens ran around in a mania. Although just minutes after 10, many were already drunk. Don't worry, I'm not drinking, but I don't want to see you passed out somewhere just because I'm not, Cora warned May as they entered the party. May had second thoughts about drinking, but recalled Thoma's earlier attempt. I'd rather be drunk than stay with these thoughts in my head. She kept Cora's words at the back of her mind. She knew her friend was right, but maybe just one cup of the hard stuff would be enough to take the edge off. May made her way to the makeshift bar next to the pool and poured herself a Patron and Coke. She hated hard liquor, but needed to forget. May hoped the Coke would hide the strong taste of the alcohol. It didn't. May chugged it regardless. The pool was full of rowdy teens who were drinking. She continued to push her way through the horde, trying to find a quiet place to escape the debauchery. The home was packed. The garden was the only space no one had discovered. May found a cement bench in a garden to rest. A heavy breath escaped her soft lips as her body eased into the seat. Aside from the few outdoor solar lights, it was dark. The solar lights cast a warm glow on the flowers planted in an artful design. The effects of the liquor felt as if it were entering every one of her cells. Max stood joking and laughing with a few of his teammates when he spotted Mei Gordon disappearing into the garden. It's now or never, he thought to himself out loud. You are? Derek, one of his teammates, perplexed by Max's words, looks in the direction Max is looking in. Nothing. Max tapped him on the shoulder. I will see you guys on Monday. Each step Max took towards the garden deafened the sounds of the party. His heartbeat was the loudest thing he could hear. An odd wind blew through the crowd, and it carried May's name to his ears. Startled, Max turned around in the direction her name was spoken. 3 guys were all staring at the garden and making obscene gestures. Max paused and changed his focus to see what they were planning. As he got closer, he heard one of them gesturing, shoving their face in May's breast. A sudden rage took over as Max sucker punched the one who made the disgusting comment. Max watched as he fell back into the pool, taking another guy with him. They fought, and Max walked away, heading to make himself another drink. Goosebumps emerged on May's arms. followed by the memory of hearing Max's voice in her mind. Max's stare warmed her entire being, a sensation she had never experienced before. It didn't feel evil, just different, intriguing. She could feel it again. Mei spun around to see who was there. It was him. Mei noticed his muscular shape and chiseled stomach under his shirt. The moonlight behind him didn't help to suffocate the rising emotion she hid so well from him so far. He stood at the garden entrance holding a red cup, swaying like the branches on a tree in the wind. Obviously, he's already tipsy, Mei notes to herself. He stood in the shadow for a while longer, finishing his concoction. Mei felt a little anxious as he stepped closer to her. Now she could see what she already knew: it was Max. She found herself relieved it was him and not someone else. Mei had heard her share of drunken stories and misidentification tales to make her second-guess herself. Feeling his familiar gaze, she was now convinced that it was he who was staring at her earlier today. Why? Mei contemplates. Can I help you? She asked aloud, watching him move towards her. Max's grey eyes seemed to shine in the darkness. If I didn't already believe in God, I would now. Only God could make something that beautiful, Mei thought as a slow, seductive smile appeared on her face. Yes, you can tell me why it's so hard to get your attention. What are you talking about? Mei asked while beginning to stand. No, don't get up. I will come to you, relax, Max said, putting his free hand up as he made it to the cement bench on which Mei was seated. She smiles. There was something about Max, something familiar. So, what are you doing here? I didn't know this was your thing, Max said as he sat next to her. It's not my thing. Mei looks down and over at some flowers across from them. Max followed her gaze to the flowers. He searched his mind for what to say to her. He did not want to lose her attention. Having her eyes on him, even for a moment, felt serene. You know, not one of those flowers is as beautiful as you. Wow, what a weak line. You're drunk. Mei stands to her feet and walking over to one of the rose bushes. His comment left a lingering smile on her face. Please, I am sorry, I know I sound cheesy, Max said, with an amused expression on his face. He stood and walked over to her. Mei, he called as he touched her elbow. Max gulped down the last of his drink and then threw the cup in the rosebush. Oh, charming Max. Proper gentleman-like. Mei turns to face him. Max peered into her eyes. Mei felt as if he could see straight through to her soul. She looked away. She didn't want him to see into her and everything she was trying to shove down. Who would want to hurt you? What? What? Mei steps away from him, startled by his words. Nothing, Max curses as he turns his back. I'm so stupid, he thought. She took a step forward, needing to get away from him, but stumbled. Max heard her feet shuffle and spun in time to catch her. Are you all right? Max asked, guiding her to the bench. Too much Patron, Mei slurs her words. Her body felt dense and unyielding, like a block of stone. She could feel herself slipping away as her mouth became weighted down and her eyelids drooped. Wow, what's bothering you? She held her head. Oh man, what am I thinking? She said, just before passing out. Nelson ran into the rose garden. Max, we got to go. A fight broke out, and the police showed up. Nelson said, out of breath. Okay, what did you do? Nelson looked at his friend, who appeared bewildered as he struggled to hold on to Mei. It's not what it looks like. She's drunk. Oh no, she's just fallen for you, Nelson said. What? Max's adrenaline pumped through his veins as he saw people trying to escape the police. Max had no intention of getting caught in this mess. Lucky for him, he lived just a few houses away. Max looked down at Mei. She appeared to be knocked out, and he was not about to leave her behind. Max picked her up when Cora Pennington ran into the garden, screaming for her friend. Mei groaned as her head rolled back onto Max's arm. "Nelson, help me get Mei on my back," Max said. Nelson didn't hesitate to help Max. "What did you do to her?" Cora stomps towards Max. "Nothing. I swear. She had betrayal," Max said. "We need to get out of here now. I can bring her to your car." Cora agrees, not sure of what his original intentions were. They head towards the pool area when Nelson observes cops coming towards the garden area. Nelson grabbed Cora's arm. "Look, we can walk out of here, but your friend can't. If the cops see her like that, we are all in trouble." He motioned for them to step further into the garden.